Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new video today. As of, well, yesterday actually, so I'm kind of late. The developer update for July of 2023 has dropped, and it has. I've went over it really quickly, and it has a couple of things, to be honest. Some good, actually, it's mainly good. Some questionable things, which we'll see in the future. First things first. Let's get right to it. First things first. We got Survivor disconnect bots. So what this is saying is pretty much for all of you guys that say, you know what? I got a dip. This game made for me. Totally understandable, by the way. And in case that happens, there's gonna be a bot that goes into the game now. This is obviously clearly better. This is obviously a positive change to the game. When someone leaves, the bot takes their place. Usually, the bot will probably be better than the person, anyways, which is more sad in and of itself, even if it's a bad bot, than the actual player, mainly because it will probably still be able to do gens while you run around the killer. That being said, not much to say about this. Good thing they done that. Should have done that maybe like 2-3 years ago. But hey, who am I to tell? Successful report feedbacks. This is huge, mainly for one. Cue the. Oh, goddamn it, man! I said this is huge. Oh, stop. Okay. Successful player report feedback. So what do we got here? Successful report feedback. What this is saying is pretty much like, okay, once you report someone, you'll be able to see whether or not that person has gotten banned. Maybe they were cheating or something. Boom. If they were cheating, it's banned. It will let you know. You know what? Congratulations. Thank you for reporting that player to us. You will get notified that thank you for your help. The following reports have been processed and appropriate action has been taken. There you go. Very simple. This is also good. About time, finally, because the report system has been nearly completely and utterly useless for 7 years now, or however long it's been in the game. But this is where we get into the juicy stuff here. Now, I'm not a statical player, but apparently there's a lot of things that happen here with a projector, with a projection. Projecting to a TV now applies 3/4 of a stack of condemned to all survivors not carrying a cursed tape. So what this is saying is if you spam, if you still spam it, not all of them get it. But it has been toned down, which we'll get to in a bit. The TV is disabled after the owner projects to it has been reduced to 70 seconds. It was 100 seconds before. This can be further reduced using add-ons. This is also a positive change, mainly because it takes practically forever. I think my grandchildren will have their own families, and I'll still be waiting for the very first TV to open back up again. That being said, 70 seconds is still a little too high, in my opinion. It should be a little lower. 70 seconds. It won't be my grandchildren, it will be my children themselves that will have their families. My grandchildren will be born, essentially, by the time the TV opens up once more. Now, you can bring add ons, but I'm not really too keen on the idea of a killer solely relying on an add on. Like, for example, how can you play Trapper without the Trapper bags? It's like you don't necessarily, but you practically need it. So I feel like there's going to be the iridescence still going to be here. The time a TV is disabled after survivor removes the curse tape has been increased to 90 seconds. It was 60 seconds. I don't know about that one either, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about that one. That's an actually first questionable one. Like we had two straight up good ones, but this is a questionable decision. Well, but who am I to say anything else about it? 60 seconds was, I think, pretty decent. I understand why they did it to 90 seconds, but only time will tell about this one. This is a mid change. We'll see. Projection now has a 15-second cooldown. Since there is no longer a range limit on the condemned effect, we need to limit how frequently this can happen. That's just a straight up new effect to sort of balance out the first one, because it would be way easy to just continuously just keep using TVs over and over again, just build everyone's condemn, and then it would be just a battle of just continuously teleporting and doing TVs for condemn. There would be no gen, no nothing. That would just be the game. So that's an understandable decision. I don't know, 15 seconds, maybe 10 seconds would be slightly better, but this is something that we just see. Cursed tapes. Cursed tapes have become more dangerous as well. Though holding a cursed tape may protect you from the condemned effect, when the owner teleports, they come with their own risks. I don't know. This is what it should have been. I don't know if how much it is. Let's just get right to it. Getting hit with a basic attack while carrying a cursed tape will apply one stack of condemned. All right, that's cool. That's cool. All right, that's cool. Okay, understandable. When a survivor is carrying a cursed tape is hooked, all other survivors gain one stack of condemned, and the tape is destroyed. I don't know about that one, but what this is saying is, hey, please don't slug everyone. This is saying, you know what? Please don't slug everyone. Holding a cursed tape no longer passively builds condemned. This is very clearly to balance out what's going on here. This is understandable, even though it's kind of unfortunate. Cursed tapes cannot be placed on any TV other than the one they were retrieved from. This is the one I think I have an issue with, because turning off a TV for 90 seconds, how is it? Yeah, for 90 seconds, where the TV, because the TVs though are mostly conveniently placed on like decent locations, right? It's not like you have to walk literally 3 steps and it's another TV's there. But this is still bad because any TV, this shouldn't be it. Maybe just do like the three furthest away and just let them choose. They just not limit them to one, so that the Sadako can know which one it is. Just do like the three furthest away or something like that. Just don't let it be any tape, because Sadako is still going to have the condemn strategy, though it's going to be much weaker than what it is. I haven't really tried it, to be honest, so I don't know its actual effects. That being said, this is huge. This is kind of what kind of takes it away, because I believe that, if I remember correctly, because I haven't actually gone as or against Sadako in a very long time, if you place a tape, all of your condemn goes away. That's so. I mean, you're definitely encouraged to pick up a tape and put it on a TV to shut down the Sadako's power, but it's so easy to just do that, and there's a very big uh penalty for it, as a killer. So we'll see. Maybe this will have some changes. Actually, never mind. This is behavior. There's not going to be changes until probably 2020-30. 2020-30, yes. But we got some actually decent changes for demanifestation. We have also made a few adjustments to owner's demanifestation state. Very good. Let's see this. The owner can no longer be stunned while demanifested. So this is will be just kind of like Wraith, where you kind of do the mind game of like, hey, am I gonna manifest right in front of you and smack you and you drop the pallet or not? It's gonna be that game, but chases are prevented when demanifested, making it more difficult to track the owner's position. That's also a dub right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's also another dub. I'd say that's a dub mainly because you can actually hear now, because chase musics are so loud, and God forbid it's been 7 years and still no chase settings, so you can actually hear what's going on. Obviously, needless to say, the manifesting now removes bloodlust. Yeah, this is pretty much like going just like Wraith through when you're cloaking. This is pretty standard stuff. Add-ons. This is where it gets suspicious. Lastly, we have done a balancing pass on the Onio's add-ons, bringing her highest and lowest performing add-ons closer in line with the rest of the options. Now, this is what I'm kind of scared of, because what this is saying, trust us. This is saying, trust us, guys. We know what we're going to do with her add-ons, and I'm not too convinced with Behavior's balancing team. As much as I, have faith in them that they will eventually realize, how things work, so on and so forth. That being said, I'm optimistic. I'm trying to remain optimistic here. Not that I care. This is not Nurse we're talking about, so hey, that's that's about my part done right there. But all jokes aside, I feel like that iridescence is going to get gutted, and everything else is going to come from bad to like mid. Maybe hopefully we'll see something like decreasing this. Obviously, we're going to have add-ons that we reduce from the 70 seconds to less. Hopefully we'll have something that can do one stack to nearby survivors, or condemned to all survivors, something like that. Maybe it will be a new iridescent, something like that. I don't know. But that's the changes. Here we have an L change. We got hook grabs. So I'm not gonna read all this, but what this is saying is like, hey, it was annoying when the killer was at the exit gates with no kills, and he had one survivor, and you had to risk getting you had to have at least two people to save him. Now we changed that, and I think this is more of an L change, to be honest with you, and I'll explain why. The main scenarios often which this the you actually get a hook grab is obviously, needless to say, if you're camping someone. Now there's two scenarios when you're camping someone. Either you're camping someone at the end game where there's literally like the last gen's about to pop, or the exit gates are powered up, or when you're like mid to early game, so you're just like, you know what, I just want to camp this person. Maybe that's just your playstyle. Uh, what this does is eliminates the playstyle, which I don't know how healthy it is for the game. I obviously understand that, you know what, the person, as I've also been, I've gone camp plenty of times, to be honest with you, but this is kind of questionable because if your team is like, hey, yo, he's camping, all right, pop 4 gens in like no time, because it takes 2 minutes. 2 minutes to 120 seconds for the survivor to die from the second they get hooked. That is very much easily 3 gens from one each survivor, and then probably a 4th gen that's about to pop if there's a 2 survivor team. If there's a prove thyself there as well, it probably will definitely be another pop. And the 5th person is and then the 3rd person is working on the final gen. Like, it's not that hard, and all you have to do is you have the entire map still full of resources to just run around the killer. If they need to camp, it's probably not gonna be like a nurse or a blight or a spirit even. Probably gonna be something more along the lines of Bubba, maybe Trapper if you set it up correctly, because the rest you can just easily save. So I don't know how much of an actual good decision this is, because there are people that I've actually known. I have a friend of mine who genuinely says, you know what, I actually don't care about like killing all survivors. I just enjoy just setting up. Like, he picks Trapper and Hag, and he's just like, I love setting up traps around them, and just like maybe doing some insidious strategies. You just see them walk into some traps if they don't know, especially if it's not survive with friends. So this definitely eliminates the playstyle. Though we will see. I clearly very much indeed understand why this is happening, but especially considering that the hook grabs are getting canceled, on top of the addition of that their little deliverance base kit buff thing that they said that they're going to do in their live stream. I don't know, maybe one of the two, but definitely not both. We will see though. Hope this will probably gets exchanged, especially because like you're supposed to like say, yo, you don't have to worry because you don't grab them now, but hey, you'll at least be able to exchange hooks. It's like, okay, that's still something, but feels mid. Brand new part, it's annoying. Nobody likes it. You should never be able to get as much value of, what is it, 22.5 seconds out of the gen, which which if you round it up, it's 25%. Or let's say 20 to 25% of gen progress, just by hitting 3 skill checks. Like, it's not that hard. This has went from 25 to 10 seconds. That's a W move right there. The thing I would say about this is, if there is one brand new part in a game, that's okay. One brand new part, I think just slightly, just is a straight up just a slight boost to survivors, right? Just like, for example, when you're injured and you're using resilience, right? It's not like, it's like, oh my god, it's such a huge thing. It's just slight boosts. But when all 4 survivors have it, or 2 or 3, for that matter as well, well, now you can see how the 22.5 builds up. Now with the 10 seconds, even a max team having brand new parts, this will shave off half a gen. So yeah, maybe they should have tried, I think, instead of 22.5%, something like 17.5 or 15. I think 10 I think they're gonna buff it back up to 15 seconds or something like that. They're not gonna let it at 10 seconds. I think it's actually too little. It's suspicious of me to say that they've actually done a good job, but hey, it is what it is. Thanks. Next up, we're moving to something that's actually close to my heart: perks. We've got the killer perks. Coup de grace. So what this is saying is like, okay, instead of 1 stack when a gen is completed, you get 2 stacks. So instead of 5 swings, you have 10 swings. This went from a full meme perk to a questionable perk. It's it's in the line of meme and an actual perk. We'll see where that does. I mean, you're still gaining, like technically speaking, power as the game loses. I mean, 4 out of 10 swings will be when the game is practically ended. So I don't know. I've heard players. I've also seen Scott John's video where he said, you know what, maybe if you hook, you get a stack. I was like, that's a pretty dope idea. Or he also said about the swing, and if it's like an actual swing above, like your actual range, then it would count. That's, I was like, that's pretty good, but claustrophobia. This is interesting. This can lead up to some interesting games. This is getting a decent buff. Now, what this is saying is like, remember when that perk that when you finish the gen 32 meters away from the completely generated, every window will be blocked, and then you play a map and it's just like there's no windows. Well, now they said, you know what? Let's limit that RNG factor and let's make it map wide. You know, that's actually a pretty good change. It's still gonna have to be situational, and you're still gonna have to play around it. Uh, things such as Tinker will help. Wraith's rare, ultra rare add-on where he lets you know, how far the gen progress is done. That's also good. But it will still be questionable. This one will have to wait and see. This will still be either weak or very strong. It's gonna be one or two. It's not gonna be a mid perk. I don't believe so. Here we got removing the range restriction because we want survivors to react quickly and find a pallet. Yo, we want players to play safe and not fun of trying to loop and stuff and just press space. Interesting. Hangman Strick, this is still shit. That's it's become a scorch hook now. And yo, remember when it was 6, 7, 8 meters? But it was from every hook? Yeah, now we made it to 10, but it's only from the 4 scourge hooks. Yeah, those scourge hooks that spawn on the outskirts of the map and nobody goes there unless you go for specifically for the scourge. Yeah, no, this is bad. This is supposed to be a buff, and I feel like it's more of a nerf. I've actually not seen this. What is this? Territory imperative. Short aura reading duration can make it easy to miss. Add on to the fairly large distance requirement, and it quickly becomes a very tricky to use effectively. So 3 more seconds. Okay, now don't just what the heck, my phone. Yeah, don't use the territorial. Remember me. Is my phone suiciding on its own? What is going on here? Alright, remembering me. So what they did with this is each token increases the opening time of the exit by 6 seconds. And now it's up to 24 seconds, where you used to be 16 seconds. This is probably, practically speaking, a 50% buff to the actual time itself. That's pretty decent. You can run it without other perk that I don't remember its name, but it just straight up blocks the exit gate for a couple of seconds. You can actually do some with this. This is not bad. This is not bad. Unfortunately, endgame peg doesn't work that way anymore, so that's also gone. But you can make some endgame builds with this. It's not bad. Crowd control. This is an interesting one, because what it did was you had 40, 50. No wait, you had like 14 seconds. It was practically bamboozle, right? After every time a survivor would vote, it would be the same as bamboozle. But now at tier 3, you have a whole minute. That entire thing is blocked. So when someone vaults, instead of 14 seconds, sorry, it would now be 60 seconds. This is insane. This finally brings it up to hex status. It's still hex, so it's probably still gonna get cleansed really fast unless you have Undying or something like that, but this is actually a very good buff. There you go. Trail of Torment. What they changed with this perk is very simple. What they did is they said, okay, after you smack someone, you no longer just lose it. You don't lose your what is it? The undetectable status. You now lose it only after it stops regressing. So either until the gen has reached 0%, I'm guessing, right? Because that's supposed to. Because even if a gen reaches 0%, I believe prior, you'd still have the undetectable, because they hadn't touched the gen, even though it was still 0%. Let's say gen was 1%, you kick it, you still get the undetectable. But this is actually good, even though nobody kicks gens anymore. But this is a good buff, something that should have happened. But now we're moving on to survivor perks. Oh boy. Prove thyself. You get 6%, you get 6 seconds off a gen, and now they did it, what is it? Was 15 to 10%. And they just said F you. We're removing the blood point bonus for no reason. So now instead of 6 seconds, you say you shave off 4 seconds of prove thyself, but nobody cares. Blast mine. This is actually a good thing because the duration of the trap after you said blast mine is now 120 seconds, and it was 45 seconds before. This is pretty good. This is pretty good because I was always, when I used blast mine, I was always like, it has to be well timed, otherwise it's gonna run out of time. Now there's just no way. You hear the heartbeat, you just press it, you go hide somewhere until you hear, until you see the points of the gem pop. So yeah, let's definitely use that. And they've changed the wire trap, increased the duration as well to 120 seconds as it was 80 seconds before. But now instead of 33% of a gen, you gotta get 50% of a gen. So they kind of made those equal. That's pretty interesting. Saboteur is either going to be a very annoying change or nothing at all, because they changed the time from 2.5 seconds to Sabo Hook to 2.3 seconds to Sabo Hook. And we know that the killer's swing cooldown is 3 seconds. So you wouldn't have enough time to, get swung, Sabo the hook, get out. You could Sabo the hook, but that's about it. So you still have to trade something. They're trying, I believe, to do so where it's like, maybe you have some more time to get away or something like that. And the cooldown is, well, for tier 1 and tier 2 less, but so you can get used for frequently. Nobody cares about that. You always have tier 3, so that's the main change right there. We'll see. Clairvoyance. This, I believe, what does this one do? Will now activate through aura reading can be handy, but there's only so many totems to go around. Those will now activate upon blessing a totem in addition to cleansing. That's pretty good. Yes, W change. Breakout, I was never really a fan of Wiggle or Breakout perks. No pun intended. What they've done is they, instead of, the speed of which they wiggle is 25%, it was 20%, and now you need to be within 5 meters instead of 6. So you need to be a little closer, but it goes up a little faster. I don't know about that one. I guess we'll see. For you scummy people who run that. But buckle up. This is where it gets interesting. From here all the way down. Oh yeah, the rest of these are very interesting because upon healing a survivor from the dying state, both you and the healed survivor gain the endurance status effect for 10 seconds. So this is very interesting because they really like giving people endurance after they've been slugged. There's been a consistent change of people, of perks and balancing going anti-slug. What I mean by that is We're Gonna Live Forever was the first one. It gave the person who got downed endurance. Now you had the totally very fun and balanced perk of that last one. I don't remember which one it is, that gives you 3% speed, as well as giving you the endurance status effect. And now this one says, hey, both of you get it. It's like, I guess, I don't know. Smash it. This is very interesting. So this is the least used exhaustion perk. And it's for good reason. It's because it's very hard to pull off. Some killers, for example, such as Nurse, just say no to pallets. So getting stunned and having to wait the regular 60 seconds or 40 seconds, is still pretty much. So what they've done is you still obviously keep the 4 seconds of Spring Burst, but now as a return, you have 20 seconds of cooldown. This with Vigil, I think will do for a very good combo. But you still need to be good while playing it because you still need to get stunts, and some killers still avoid stunts, and obviously the killer itself can respect pallets, so on and so forth. So we'll see. And poor Spine Shield just getting Just kidding. Now that the visual tear radius is available, we're removing the tear radius visualization aspect of this perk. Yeah, I don't know why they keep nerfing this. This, I think they've done enough poor spine show, bro. But we got killer tweaks. The executioner has ability mechanic to prevent him from camping. This is from the for the hook. It was 5 meters of the cage. So if you were from 5 meters or closer to the cage survivor, you would actually leave and go on the other side of the map. And people could still proxy camp it because it's actually really easy to tell where the actual cage will go. It's you look at yourself and just where is the exact opposite point of the map for me? The furthest opposite point of the map for me, that's where you go. That's where they'll be. And you can still easily proxy camp it because 5 meters is not that much, trust me. But they now did it to 10, so it'll be a little harder. You shouldn't proxy camp with Executioner. There's other things you do with Executioner. You shouldn't bother with that, but The Spirit, this is a big one because they're changing a lot of things. So first things first, we got Mother Daughter Ring. Personally, in my honest, humble opinion, I didn't think this one needed to get nerfed, but it did. I understand why very clearly though. It was 40% of increased movement speed, now it's 25. So I get why, but I don't agree with this change mainly because the duration gets changed, which we'll get to in a bit. Dried Cherry Blossom, this was a good combination with Mother Daughter Ring, but the add-on triggers Killer Instinct on survivors who come within 40 meters of the spirit while she's in her haunting phase. This will get used to sort of counteract for the scratch marks, and now it's been doned down to 3 meters instead of 4. I know, right? Crazy stuff. The amulet, all the amulets and the talisman. What they did is they gave, which they were the duration add-ons, and obviously we know that from Spirit's coding, it's not about it's not, let's say for example, right? Spirit has X amount of power, and that X amount of power is supposed to recover within Y, amount of seconds. Even if the X power is longer now, Spirit still has to recover within that Y seconds, within those Y seconds. That's what they did. That's how it was coded, and that's how we had that secondary ability of the duration. Now that's changing, and as a result, we have the recoveries going to increasing from, let's say, 25 to 40%, 10% to 20%, so on and so forth. This was a very good decision and a good change, which should have been done, to be honest, a long time ago. But even after a couple of years, from 5 years actually, but hey, we finally got it changed now. The Hag. This is a very interesting thing. The Waterlogged Shoe deleted the Hag's ability to teleport, but gave her a permanent movement speed boost. This wasn't really good, as it didn't even make you a 4.4 killer. But now you get more than that 4.4. You actually go faster now. So if you put this add-on, you'll be faster than the 4.4 killers, which is kind of interesting. I want to see how body blocking Hag works. I think I'll do a body blocking Hag once this patch goes live. Midrag. This is, oh my god, the video is 30 minutes long. I'm sorry, people. But Midrag, this is personally a good change for me. This went from 15 seconds to 10 seconds. I like it. They say about mind games and stuff. I just like that it gives the Hag the extra maneuverability, to be honest with you. Half egg shell and cracked turtle egg. So it's about the duration of the traps. I like it. It gives more maneuverability to the Hag once more. Instead of having to say, okay, hold up. Instead of, waiting, let's say 2 seconds, 3 seconds extra, then it's not 4 or 5 seconds extra, so you can easily decide more easily if you actually want to do some things or not. If you actually want to teleport, maybe it's like a 2-way pallet or something like that. Coldwind, the farms here, and this is the last thing. So, like I said in my Wraith video, because I briefly touched on this topic, which you guys will see soon. The Coldwind farm balance update. We have Rancid Avatar and Come Cowshed 1v1. So Come Cowshed 1v1 should absolutely get nerfed. That map is stupid. Because the entire outskirts of it is just a one giant connected loop. with the barn here being ever so powerful. And now I see a pallet here instead of a window, so we'll see how that works. It's technically speaking, it's not got a god pallet. We have a door here. So long as it's not a breakable door, that's good. If it's a breakable door, what's the point? This has been apparently removed from a oh, well, never mind. I'm not gonna watch it. It's apparently a pallet now, so that's good. And apparently they want to do something with the middle because they said like, oh, the middle is that has nothing. Apparently they forgot cow tree, but it is what it is. It's still one loop compared to a whole connected map. And Rancid Avatar, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if it needed any change. Um, Rancid Avatar was pretty. I mean, I see this. What is this? What is this? There's a rock, a barrel, two lockers, and nothing, and half an L wall with a gen. And this is on the very outskirts of it. And there's still some things there, so if they're reducing the RNG aspect of it, they're like the budget goes lower or something, because from what they've talked about, like palette budget and stuff, it's not bad, I guess. I hope it's not this bad where for like a quarter of the map, for like 15% of the map, there's nothing. But we'll see. This is not a bad door. I like it. But and Rancid Avatar seems more of it should be changed rather than nerfed. And Rancid Kamikaze 1 gun should definitely get nerfed. But those are my opinions. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you watched the entire 30-minute video. If you did, comment hashtag I love you. Because that's what I do. I love you. And we'll see through the PTB what everything brings us. And what gets put and how it gets put in the live service. But without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.